I'm Scott McLennan, so I'm regional manager for Santander. What that means is I manage 17 branches from Shetland down to Berwick Tweed, so just a wee small region. But I live in Elgin and I'm from Elgin. So first I'll tell you a wee bit about myself. So I left school at 18. I was made to be going to university, but chose not to, I wasn't sure. So chose not to, and a friend of a friend said there was a job going in the bank, and I ended up in banking. That's how it happened. Now, since this, I've worked in banking there for 29 years, Clydesdale Bank in Santander. But I think, when I reflect on why I'm so passionate about supporting young people, is that I was just lucky, really lucky to end up in that. And I kind of look at my sons now, 19, my daughter 22, they've been lucky too. I kind of think about the pandemic, how many kids won't be as lucky and maybe won't have opportunity. So what I'm going to go on and do today is tell you a little bit about what we're going to do in Santander. Quite difficult to get quite a big organisation to do something in this zone and sign up, so I'll tell you a little bit about our journey, what we're doing and what we plan to do, and also what I'm going to ask of you. And I think Amy is here going to lock the doors until you sign up anyway, so you don't get free lunch for it every day. So. Okay, so let me tell you a little about it. So the 5 key principles are here, but we're going to look to sign up to each of the 5 key principles. Now there might be in stages. Okay, as a kind of big company, it's quite hard to get things moving quickly, but we're getting there with Amy's help. So, but what we plan to do is support young people through mentoring, through support on being career ready, being more career ready. So certainly with interview skills, CV skills, cover letter skills, and supporting people to know what it's like to come into work. The other thing I think is really important is helping young people be ready for interview, be ready to come into the workplace, and that probably starts way before, so they understand what the job is, what the career is, what the opportunity is, what the ask is, so they're coming into something that they're aware of. I think that's really important. So we're going to look to commit to each of these 5 areas. Now I'm going to tell you a little about what we've done so far. So throughout Scotland, we've also got 30 odd branches, a contact centre, corporate arm, wealth management arm, different bits of the business. But what we've done so far is, what I've done, we've got 15 branch leaders who will support the programme. So they've signed up from Shetland right down to Glasgow, Edinburgh, so pretty much geographically spread out. So they've volunteered to be part of this. We've got 3 senior leaders from contact centres, that's the call centres in Glasgow, and corporate. They're going to support, they'll get more people on board, so that'll grow as we go on. We're going to connect those people, 18 for a start, and myself, with the local DYW person. So we'll be in Moray, but across the other DYW place as well. I think there's 21 different DYW locations or coordinators. So we'll link the managers in with those DYW contacts. Then we'll use it as a bit of a conduit to think, what do the schools, what do young people need from us, and start the conversation. And we really see it that way, it's really important. It starts the conversation about what's needed. So we'll just be part of that. Now for my managers, it's just so important that they've got the external view. We've certainly found the last 2 years with COVID, with a very internal view, supporting the branch, doing all we can to stay open has made a feat in itself. But now we're going to start to look outside and think, how can we really support young people and be active in communities? We used to do that with loads of fundraising things, and we'll still do those type of things. But I think it's more and more important to think, how do we connect properly with communities? If we see a link in with schools, with DYW, it's a core part of that. So I would see our 15 managers, 3 other people and myself, over the next year, do quite a lot on career talks, school sessions. I did one with Milnes this week. 75 third-year students at Milnes. A lot scarier than speaking to this room. So especially when you go to Q&A and you've got no idea what they're going to ask at that session. But so that was really good. But we connect and do things virtually. So I did that through Zoom. Worked really well. I think it worked really well. Yeah, you have to say that, don't you? So we'll do more and more of those sessions with schools. And the other thing I think we see is that it supports the growth for our leaders, but it also hopefully supports a future talent pipeline in our business. Now, over the past 2 years, we've kind of consolidated our branch network, consolidated what we do, and we've kind of got to a level where we were working with a resourceful hub, but we're now starting to think about creating vacancies. But it's quite funny when you speak with that, and we were speaking at the table. It's okay creating a vacancy, but it's not as easy as it was to fill it, particularly with somebody that's kind of made for that vacancy or maybe tailored towards that vacancy. So that's where we want to really get close to that. So I'd love to be in a position where with a vacancy at kind of entry level anywhere in Scotland, and the first thing we do is go to the DYW coordinator or the local school and say, this is the role we've got, can we start speaking to people? but we should also already have people that are interested. The other thing I think is key in this room is that through the career ready and mentoring, you may well support youngsters who are not necessarily interested in your industry, but you're just supporting them as a young person. It's how we connect up together to say, I know of somebody who can help you. So they might not be interested in banking, but we can get them to speak to somebody in this room. So I think us coming together a bit more, we do a lot more of that actually is really, really important. Okay, so let me tell you some next steps. So we've reviewed, well, in the process of reviewing all our recruitment material. There's a big employer where we looked at our recruitment material. It's not ready for young people. So it looks to recruit on skill and competence. It doesn't look to recruit with attitude. So what it means is, at the moment, if a school leaver was to apply to us, it would be very unlikely we'd offer them the job, as of today. There might be there, but very unlikely. So we have to look at all our recruitment material and change it completely. That's in the process happening. Also, we don't currently offer paid work experience. Through our social mobility network, we're looking to get the funding from, because we're headquartered in England, to get the funding from our social mobility network to pay for that. So it's something else we'll be able to commit to on aims. I think it's important when we're looking to recruit that we look to engage DYW first, not as a kind of afterthought after we've done the normal recruitment stuff. And one of the areas where we're really going to be active in recruitment is first at our contact centres in Glasgow, so we'll work with DYW there. Secondly, in Santander, what we've started to do is in branches, so we used to a normal bank presence, whatever bank you go into, but we've got people in our branches now taking calls from the contact centres. We've got people in our branches now taking the complex fraud calls that used to be to Glasgow. We've got people doing the financial crime roles, so they all do them at a distance from our branches, so we have a lot more varied careers moving forward. But we need to fill them, we need to fill those opportunities. So what we're going to look to do is to use our offices fully. So if there's 15 seats in our office, we want to use those 15 seats because there'll be less and less roles in Glasgow and more around Scotland. So huge opportunity, but it means that we need people to be ready for that, so we need to support it. I think we grow the pool of leaders we have to support, so we've 18 now, plus myself, so 19, but we can probably get that to 40 or 50 quite quickly. And then, like I said, we start collaborating with each other. I think it's so important. It's something that through pandemic, we've probably not been able to do, but maybe we weren't that good to do it anyway. So we can blame the pandemic for most things, can't we? So. Okay, so what's my ask of you? Okay, so as Amy and Sarah have said, get on board, sign up. I think the great thing about Young Person's Guarantee is you don't have to commit to things that you're not able to. It's maybe 1, 2 or 3 things in all row. I think we'll be able to commit to 4 and be working on a 5th. But if I can get a kind of big organisation to take that on board, I'm sure we can all do it, because it's been a wee bit of a challenge. And anybody's having those challenges, speak to me, because I can help you through the process. Essentially, I worked it quite simply. I got loads of yeses on the board, and then went to senior leaders to say, this is all the yeses I've got in the business, now can we do this? And they've got no choice at that stage, well, little choice. So simply get on board, sign up, commit to making a difference, and locally let's be really progressive. And I think the 11 sign-ups just now, we can double that really quickly for a start group. Now, I was challenged when I discussed this with my senior bosses yesterday in London to say, so what's the goal? So what? Didn't really have one. So our goal, I'm not going to put numbers in it yet because Amy and Sarah will completely hold me to it forever, but I'd like to think, I'd have a percentage in my head that we'd recruit from school leaver level into role. So what percentage of vacancies would come from school leavers? So I'd like it to be 50% at least. At the moment it's none, unfortunately. Secondly, how many people do we support through the 19 of us in the next year? It could definitely be more than 1,000 through various things. School talks, mentoring, career ready, whatever it may be. We could definitely board that and grow it. And that would give us some real tangibles to play back to the business, which I think is more engagement going forward. So